So the first deck of our Runeterra segment for Extra Life 2020, we have Vi-olent Knight. This is card for card, a list I got from fellow player, streamer, content creator Jeff Hoagland, a gentleman I've been following the content of for many years now. And so what this deck is, it's kind of a aggressively slanted mid-range deck, or perhaps you could say it's a mid-rangey slanted aggressive deck, something like that. So it's essentially the standard Runeterra Nightfall package. Very aggressive set of cards. You have Lunari Duskbringer as our 1-drop to enable our Nightfall cards. We have Diana, the champion, and things like Lunari Shadestalker, Pale Cascade, Crescent Guardian all get a bonus if they are not the second. If they are the second or later card we play in a turn. Like I said, a very solid, aggressive set of cards to add to a deck, and we're pairing it with we have a sort of small Piltover and Zon splash here for a few reasons. So the other champion we're running in this deck is Vi. Vi is this very interesting kind of like mid-range aggressive champion that's at the top end of our list here. So while she's in play or in hand, she gets a attack boost whenever we play another card. And so between the Lunari Duskbringers and them making Dust Petal Dust, we have Gifters making gems, all these cheap cards that create other cheap cards for us to play. We can get her powered up very, very quickly. And then when she's levels up, she ends games very quickly by dealing direct damage to the enemy nexus. So we kind of have this aggressive early game plan that's designed to pump her up very, very quickly, and then we use her leveled mode to close games out and deal the last little bits of damage we need to finish off the game. As I said, we are splashing Piltover and Zon, not just for Vi, but we have some copies of Mystic Shot and Get Excited in our deck as well. Why these cards are great in a deck like this is because when we need to be aggressive, they can be directed to the enemy's nexus to deal that last little bit of damage we need to win a game. But when we need to slow games down and keep our opponent in check, they also act as removal. So they're great dual purpose cards for that reason. Not much more to say about the list. I guess I will mention we got some copies of Bastion here to help protect our key threats. Primarily Vi, but also anything that gets permanently buffed off the Mentor of Stones is a potentially great Bastion target to protect them and make sure that we can finish games out. We also have a couple copies of Crystal Ibex in here in our 4-drop slot, because it's the fact that you're getting a 4/4 for 4 and then the ability to give one of our units Overwhelm, particularly Vi, who gets very, very big very, very quickly, is great to just allow her to deal excessive amounts of damage to the enemy nexus. Because normally you'll only be dealing 5 when she strikes a unit while you're trying to attack, but there's all this attack power she has over here that's not being utilized other than to kill the unit. But with Overwhelm, excess points of damage that she's dealing to the enemy that's blocking her will be directed to the enemy nexus. So potentially very good for that reason too. So yeah, I guess I don't want to ramble on too much more. Let's just jump into some games and see how we do today. One of the things that's great about a deck like this too, with our champions Diana and Vi, is that because they have the challenger mechanic, they can also, it's another way that we can keep our enemy's board in check in certain matchups when, that's necessary. I think I'll keep the Lunari Duskbringer here, but I will throw everything else back, looking for Nightfall cards that she can enable. And we got our champion to start off. This is actually a pretty good curve then, because what we're going to get to do here is play out the Duskbringer it can block this threat.
You cannot hold us down.
And then we can play... It's possible that I could have just let that attack go through and then play Diana. Play Diana out to challenge something. I'm gonna see if the enemy takes the bait here and uses their mana. They did. So what I can do here is I can use the dust to make Diana cheaper while also enabling her Nightfall. That will give her Challenger this round, which means I can force this unit to block, which I normally couldn't because it has this mechanic here. Normally, it can't be blocked by enemies with 3. It can only be blocked by enemies with 3 or more power, so it's essentially unblockable on this board. But in this case, I can force it to block, and because Diana has Quick Attack, which means she doesn't take damage back from things that she attacks, if her damage is enough to kill it, we get to keep our unit, but they lose theirs. So it's a great first couple of turns for us here. I think what I might do, depending on what the enemy does here... Okay, so they're spending all their mana to stun Diana and play a 3-2. I'm just going to play the Mentor of the Stones here. And when we go to attack next turn, this will give Diana a permanent +2/+2, excuse me. Now the question is, do I want to play out a card before attacking? Because this is almost certainly going to block this and I'll lose it, but I could Pale Cascade to at least trade and draw a card. The trouble is I need to play a card first, or I won't be able to get that draw 1 ability. So maybe I'm to Duskbringer first. That gives my opponent the opportunity to stun something though, so maybe that's not the best. Let's just open attacks and see what they do. It might be that I just get excited discarding the Lunari Duskbringer to kill this. Because the more this triggers, I feel like the further ahead we're gonna be. So it cost me 2 cards to kill that unit, but we got to keep our Mentor, so... Okay. I think our plan for this turn is to go Gift Giver
These jewels are more than mere trinkets.
into Crescent Guardian, triggering its Nightfall ability.
The full moon awakens the soul.
And now we can hold up Pale Cascade, so we have just enough mana for that. Let's see. I think they tend to have a lot of reach in their deck, so I think...
Meet destiny.
I think I want to save as many points of life as possible. Let's start here and see what they do. So she's taking 5 in total, so even if I Pale Cascade, she'll die. But she'll still get to exchange with this unit, so I think I'm fine with this.
No.
Another Mentor of the Stones.
Gems are superb. Bad for the teeth, though.
Let's try this.
These gems grant a wearer harmony.
Okay. Keeping our Mentor of the Stones around for as long as possible I think is good, so I'm going to use one to buff another.
strength.
Interesting. Okay. Guiding Touch is a pretty good draw here, because it means we're less likely to accidentally die on this turn to a lot of damage, and burn spells that the enemy might have.
Two airborne.
You spurn my gift.
Let's just do this. I think this is good enough. We're taking 5 from this. That's not a big deal. He says before potentially dying. We're going down to 1. I think in that case, I'm going to use this as a draw 1. A draw 1 and +1 defense, which means we keep, oh, look at that. I can kill our enemy in response. So had we not drawn that burn spell there, I would have been going down to 2, but I would have had a really good open attacks on our following turn to finish our opponent off with what we had left on the board. The only thing that we would have lost to there is if our opponent had top decked either a spell similar to what he played to kill our Diana earlier in the round, or he could have also found another burn spell that they have that requires them to deal damage to a unit on board, which he would have had 1 unit left. So, good chance we would have won on our following turn anyway, but obviously, top decking a means to kill them before they could deal damage to us was ideal. Actually, what do we want here? Lunaria Shadestalker is pretty good against their archetype because they tend to have a lot of blockers for our stuff. She also doesn't die to too much of their removal. Bastion, I think, and Get Excited are probably not something I want in my opening hand. Diana's also quite good, but I feel like I have to choose between either of these 2 drops, make that decision, and stick with one of them, hoping to find something to enable them. Let's go with Diana because she's one of our champions and she's pretty fun. So let's go with that. Vi's not bad. You tend to want to see Vi in your opening hand because you want to get her leveling up or getting her attack boost as much as possible. I think I'll just play Diana out without enabling her Nightfall just to get aggressive here. Yeah, they could have something like this to block her now. I think I'm supposed to pass here because their archetype runs a lot of ways to deal 1 damage, and this thing will deal 1 to Diana before now I'm tempted to block.
Destiny.
But I'm gonna see what they do first. Oh, you know what? This is wrong because I can't heal her in response. I was thinking, you know what? Let me heal in response, but I can't do that. I guess what I can do... No, this won't work either, right? I suppose I could Bastion her. That seems not great, but why don't we do it? Yeah, so they have a lot of blockers here. Maybe the 2/3 evasive was the better choice. I'm getting punished for my decision here. That's actually kind of nice because it enables Nightfall on the Pale Cascade, and I mean it kills everything that's on their board. I'm attacking with this first because ideally... Okay, our opponent ordered their blockers incorrectly here. They wanted to... Actually, it doesn't matter, right? But it's strange that they wouldn't block with this 1/1 first, because that thing has the potential to heal them later. I think I'll just kill that now. It has the potential to gain them a lot of life over the course of this game, so let's just get rid of it now. Vi is ticking up ever faster. I think I'm okay to play her out now, actually.
Here comes the punchline.
I mean, if our opponent wants to attack here, I'm fine with that. Ooh, Mentor of the Stones. Really, really nice. They could have... What could they have? They could have a Vengeance here, but that's something they can play mid-combat anyway, so... So I can actually save her here. I can heal her. And also do this.
Cloaked in silver light.
And this only kills things with less health than it. But since our health totals are tied, she's fine. Now, I would really like to level up Vi. So I think that's what I'll do. By putting the Mentor of the Stones trigger on her. I'd also like to keep her life total fairly high as well, so... Let's do this, and get rid of this before it can heal them. I could also get rid of the 4/4, but I don't think that's where I want to be quite yet.
Move it.
So Mentor dies, we get some gems.
That's how we do it.
So, we haven't done any damage to our opponent yet, which is kind of what we need to do, because they are a control deck, and we need to end this game quickly before they get to their big scaries, their big scary monsters. But we do have a pretty good board. What we need to do now is avoid them drawing Vengeance. That's their best draw, I think, right now. Going deep is also pretty good, too. If they have another one of these sea monsters, we could be in a little bit of trouble. Okay. I'm gonna pass here and see what our opponent does. Okay, so we have a second Vi in our hand. This is actually another Vi. It's just, in this game, when you draw second copies of champions you have in play, they turn into their associated spells. So I could throw her away and then have all this additional resources up, which might be what I'm supposed to do. The problem is this Vi is not quite as big as this one. That's the only trouble. I think I'm just supposed to let this go.
Back.
7 damage. Okay. Let's see if we can draw a Bastion to protect her. We did not. Now she's still gonna kill the unit, and we have another vial as leftovers, so I think this is okay. She doesn't take 7 because she has the mechanic tough, so she takes 1 less. So she still gets to do this, and her ability still punches the Nexus for 5. So that's not bad. Keel Hauler. If I'm tossed, draw means to draw. Interesting. Deal 5 to all units. Okay, that's scary.
Piltover Enforcer on the scene.
That's not bad. Yeah, I think we're dead.
Light flowers upon my blade. The promise of a new moon upon you, contender. Unseen, unheard, the new moon conceals you from the rose. Fear not death.
I guess I can't block enough of these, without losing a lot of my stuff. I think we're just dead. What is my other option here? I guess I can heal 2 and draw and see what I get. We needed that. We needed that a turn earlier. Yeah, unfortunately, I have to lose Vi here. If it wasn't for that, I might be able to punch through for enough damage. Well, we'll block anyway because we have to, and I guess we'll take a draw step and see if we can find anything.
Enforcer down.
But I don't see how we could possibly win this game at this point. They just had too much stuff. These treasures are pretty powerful. Oh, that's it. Okay. Yeah, our start was just a little too slow there. I'm wondering if we if I had chosen to keep that elusive unit in our opening hand, would it have done enough damage early on to allow us to maybe burn them out with the spells that we had drawn later in the game? It's possible. Okay, I like Lunari Duskbringer and something that the Dusk Petal can enable for later. Second one isn't bad, especially if you draw more Nightfall cards.
It's our time.
I'm fine trading these. Yeah, didn't think so. Our opponent, they tend to like to keep their units around to heal. Their game plan is they have a secondary win condition that requires them to kill, or sorry, that requires them to heal units
They forced
win the
us to
game.
choose death or the blade.
I am not going to play the Dust Petal to enable this Crescent Guardian. I'm just going to open attacks here because we have really good attacks into their board right now. So I think this is what I'd rather do.
I will be free. We shall weave our own destiny. Her flowers bring the moonlight with them.
We kind of want to draw more units here, but we haven't.
You leave me no choice.
We haven't quite yet.
Take heart. Temperamental as moonlight.
If I kill you, I don't fortune, stupid.
And I think I'm okay. Hey, Rodri, how's it going? Yeah, well, I've been have all this pent up streaming energy, so I figured I gotta get it all out for a 24-hour. All right, am I fine with him chump blocking this 2-1 with his 2-3? I think I'm fine with that.
It's our time.
You pay first.
All right, what do they have in mind? I see. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm fine with that. Do I want to somehow kill their Soraka here in response? I would. The question is with what? I'd have to spend both of these cards. That might be worth it. At best, they can give it +2. I can deal another 5, so they could stop me. I think I'll do this. There's probably not... I probably don't necessarily need to do this in combat, though, so this could be a mistake. It might be right to wait until post-combat to do this. I guess doing it this way, I deal 1 more damage to their Nexus. Yeah. Oh, right, she only has 10 maximum. Okay. So she still dies. Our opponent has done well to slow us down, however. So we'll see. We'll see if what their leftovers are like and whether or not they can punch through. One of their best draws at this point would be the would be the card that lets them heal for a bunch. What is his name? Broadback Protector? That's a pretty good draw for them. Because now they get to play the landmark, and oh, okay, now they're just playing blockers. Gotcha. Alright, I think we're gonna start by healing one of our 2 gentlemen here. Then playing a Diana enabling Nightfall. See what they do, and then we'll our plan is to attack, hook one of their units with Diana's Challenger mechanic, and get it out of the way, and potentially deal a lot of damage to them. Okay, they're not playing any blockers, so we can do something like this.
Descends. Face your heretic.
In theory, we can kill them here. In theory. Probably not happening now, but... We can get them down to 2. Depends on what this Pale Cascade draws. Because I'm almost certainly going to Pale Cascade this Crescent Guardian. And, I guess that doesn't keep it alive, but we'll see.
My patience wanes.
Okay, well now we are going to Pale Cascade Diana. Since this Crescent Guardian is dying anyway, we want to keep our Diana around for sure.
Moonlight guide. The moon is our queen. The
Oh,
night
this
her
levels her up,
kingdom.
that's true. So I didn't need to take that damage there. I could have given it to this to deal more damage. That's interesting. I think this might be worth it. We have a better board, but they have a lot of cards in hand, so we'll have to see.
Our mountain grows are full
Remember
of
when I
days.
said that Broadback Protector would be their best draw? That's a pretty good draw for us, though.
Speak, stars. Speak, I say.
We know they have a landmark in hand, which is almost certainly Star Spring. Boy, they've drawn a lot of units in this game. I guess they do tend to draw. Their archetype does have a lot of units to
For
play, I
silver, my
suppose.
dog. For
They've also had a
dollar.
lot of these ones to help them get a lot of card draw. So that's certainly helped them. They've played, what, all 3 of these? I have a little thing here that can help us know. Yep, they've played all 3 Fortune Croakers this game. Can you guys see that? You do. You see my display. My little deck tracker thing. Oh, that's cool.
Stand back.
I get excited, but nothing to pair it with. Yeah, they probably have just enough stuff. They can't really punch through here.
There is assistant.
I've been propagating quite the appetite.
I see feast in your future.
We have the potential to burn them out.
Deadly paths,
Not
just
anymore.
another day in Targon.
I guess not. They always have that
I'll
guy, right?
protect you.
I'm sure there's something for my tastes.
I'm just gonna let this
Excuse
happen.
my impertinence.
Stand back.
Oh, I don't require a menu.
So if I attack here, they likely block with the Crusty Dodger, which means they take 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're way a ways off from being able to kill them in that case. Let's start with this. And see what they do. This card was always kind of this lackluster control card until this latest set where it gave this is probably worth trying, I think.
Come on in.
Yeah, so he eats something that's too big to eat, which kills him. And I get my Diana back, which means I get my Pale Cascade back.
No more lies.
This is outrage!
That's 6 damage. Well then, wow, we actually got there.
We speak, and they will hear us.
The fact that we were able to trigger Diana's Nightfall at burst speed there to like just keep drawing cards and giving her +4 attack was just amazing. I'm actually surprised they didn't chump block with one of their units beforehand, if I'm being honest. So they are playing the Frostbite mid-range deck. They don't tend to have a ton of ways to kill our units outright. They have to challenge them or find other ways of killing them. So I think a way to boost attack I think is good. This as a 1-drop is good. I kind of like the Mentor. Let's see if we can draw into some Nightfall cards to use this Lunari Duskbringer
They
on.
forced us to choose death.
Or rather the Dusk Petal Dust that she creates.
Lunari, rise!
We'll have an okay second attack phase with the Mentor of the Stones because we're going to get to play it on 3 and then we get to attack.
Can see the Debastian
This is
border
kind of
from here.
interesting. I'm going to pass though. I think I want to bank the spell mana to start.
Gems are superb. Bad for the teeth, though.
Bad for the teeth though.
Gotcha.
So I think if we attack with this, they'll get to block here, but we get to Pale Cascade.
Oh, floaty crystals.
Look out for reefers.
I think that's okay. This is now out of range of Brittle Steel, so they can't reduce its attack to 0 for the round.
They walked around. say?
I'm probably not going to take the block anyway. I'm just kind of seeing what they're up to here.
The kill.
Okay.
I'll cut them apart. You are mine.
Okay, it seems like they don't have... Yeah, that seems to indicate that they don't have Brittle Steel in hand. That's funny. What did I lose? It was a Get Excited? That's fine.
Her flowers bring the moonlight with them. Find your own light within the dark.
This is... I imagine this is a
Yours
very
the
tough
light I
matchup for
cherish.
us.
Moon sister.
They're just
These
very
old
good at
eyes still
generating
see far and clear.
a lot of value with their cards. Do I want to heal her to the point? She's a 5/4 if I'm not mistaken. Or she has 4, no, she only has 3 defense, right? I think that's the case.
Come, a new phase awaits.
If I do this though, and then try to hook this, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna die to like a Frostbite card. Almost certainly. And now I don't have enough to do it anyway.
These jewels are more than mere trinkets.
We're just gonna end the round. I'm not gonna double down on my mistake by attacking into that.
Pain is nothing.
I think that's okay.
Born for conquest.
Sapphire, gem of our divine patron.
It's our time.
I'm sure they just have too much Frostbite in hand for us to win this at this point. I think we needed a bit of a better start, or we needed evasive threats to force them to use it. The 1 mana 5/5 is a very good brick wall out of their deck too. Yeah, I'm not sure how we win that matchup outside of getting a really good start with like our elusive threats, constantly attacking them down, forcing them to spend Frostbite cards, and then potentially burning them out with what little bit of reach we have. I think that's kind of the similar case for this matchup too, I think, although their archetype tends to have a ton of healing. We'll try though, I think.
A little luck for those who need it.
Well, we'll obviously. If there's any hand that can beat it, I guess it's one that starts like this. We'll go with this.
Or wane. We do not fear
Her
challenge.
challenger mechanic's not going to be that relevant. It sucks not getting to.
I cannot turn back.
Remember my
attack with
words.
this. It sucks not getting to trigger Nightfall with her, but I think the 2 damage is just better. So. Okay, I think we'll go Gift Giver into Shadestalker then.
The journey is difficult. These will protect you.
Although, am I just supposed to end the round fearing Avalanche? I guess if they Avalanche, we're left with... They lose their ramp card, which they probably don't want. I'll call their bluff. Maybe they don't Avalanche here. I feel like they would. They're not gonna Avalanche. Okay. Well, we're definitely gonna open attacks because they could also have.
No more lies.
feel like let's enable Nightfall first.
These gems grant a wearer harmony.
I cannot turn back.
Sure. Since they're not blocking, I think I'm just going to use this as a deal 2, draw 1. Alright, well they can play whatever they drew.
Night flowers upon my blade. The promise of a new moon upon you, Bloom Tender. The full moon awakens the soul.
Even oh yeah, she's currently that. Let's end the round. Mentor of the Stones, potentially very good.
Looking into the future, I see purple.
That's fine. What do we want to do? If we buff the Crescent Guardian, he's kind of forced to block with this maybe. If he blocks with anything else, how much damage does he take? He'd take 5 from this. 5, 6, 7, 8. The gem would kill him. If it was from this,
Come,
he would
a
just
new
take
phase
2,
awaits.
3, 4. Potentially, I could give him a gem, and it's 5.
Sapphire, gem of our divine patron.
Celestial power.
They tried to blind me with resplendence, but they could not break me.
I'm so dumb. I should have used this and attacked with it too. That could have been the 1 extra damage to have ended the game. That might come back to bite us. We'll see, but now they're just gonna be. So I messed this game up. I could have played that 1/1 to go wide enough
I will not abandon
to
my
kill them.
beliefs.
That's kind of neat though. So we won that game. Our deck won that game, but I lost because I didn't see that option. Yeah, I think against another aggressive deck, I like the Diana in hand. Mystic Shot to take one of their things out. Early Vi is always good. And we have something to enable Nightfall. A cheap thing to enable Nightfall as well. Maybe I should look for something a little bit better, but there's no guarantee we find it. I think we can keep this. I think it's okay. This as a burst speed blocker is also not bad. We'll see what they do. Elise, yeah, Elise is rough. That's the only thing.
Hush now.
They are just in Shadow Isle, so we'll see what they're able to do here.
I cannot turn back. Face your heretic. Cloaked in silver light.
Okay.
So young.
We could have Black Spear here to finish off Diana, but I think I'm okay with that. So just the Callista. Which we can kill with that if we really want to. It's not bad. Am I throwing out this Crescent Guardian just to block Callista? I think I am.
Arise in our time of need.
We have a pretty good attacks here. Diana, I could level her up, so that's an option.
Come, a new phase awaits.
I might have to just take this hit. Well, I suppose I can. This might be okay.
Moonlight guide me.
I'm doing this my way.
This is potentially risky. We'll see though. I might be trading this for a Callista. They could easily level her up either right now or in response to my challenging her.
Hit 'em where freeze.
I think I need to try to kill her now.
We shall return.
Well, they're going wide. I think we're just kind of forced to block everything here.
Tell it to the fists.
Their start was a little too good this game, I think. We'll see.
Invisible to the eager.
We have decent levels.
Darkness hides in my path.
I don't think I want to attack with anything here. Other than those two, because it's free.
We weren't expecting flawless.
I think that's where we gotta go with that. And it doesn't feel good, but I think we're doing this. How are we getting back in this game? I think we need a bunch of... We need, like, Hail Cascades into a bunch of stuff. Hope they don't have another atrocity. Close. Maybe I was supposed to Bastion there. Alright, they're going wide enough that we can't stop them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 1. So we're 1 short. Because we could have killed one of the threats, blocked the rest. Couldn't quite get there. Close game though. Maybe I was supposed to Bastion one of my attackers in the hopes of drawing a Mystic Shot off the top like we did, and then I would have been able to kill them with the burn spell. It's very interesting. There's a lot of games where it's like, yeah, we're losing, but I think we had options to win. I'm just missing them. Yeah, which is neat. I kind of like that. The deck, because it seems like the deck's not strong enough a lot of the time, but really it's just, it has the potential. You just got to find the right lines and know how to make the right percentage plays. It's one of the reasons why I really enjoy this game. There are so many decks that seem viable. And oftentimes, when you lose games, it feels like it's not because your deck is underpowered and you don't have the right cards. It's just you probably didn't play as optimally as you could. You made a mistake, or you took a different line than maybe you should have. There's a lot of nuance and a lot of interesting decisions to be made in this game.
We were peaceful once.
We were peaceful once.
Unseen, unheard.
Didn't even see what we're playing. They're playing a control deck. Okay.
Remember my words.
Yeah, let's just attack with this and see what they do. I think I'm okay banking the spell mana here. I mean, I don't think I need to be too aggressive with those cards, I suppose is what I'm trying to say.
Take heart.
It's a big old Braum. So he gets to kill one of my 2 guys. Can I kill him in response? Maybe he'd have to not have a Frostbite card, but I guess that's our plan. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
They say these were from the Protector himself.
I'm just gonna pass here. I want to see what they do. If they want to just burn my like 1 mana, or I guess 2 mana, I'm fine with that.
We should be friends.
That's interesting. Do we think he has a way to protect himself? Let's make him use it. He still gets his 3/3, but at least his bomb dies.
My friend.
I think in the end that's what I care about. Mentor of the Stones. I know that they are a They are an avalanche deck, so that's something I have to be wary of. If they avalanche us, what can I do? I guess I can play Pale Cascade in response to save this Shade Stalker. Not much else I can do. They could also have Ice Quake. I think we just gotta play this and kind of hope like they're...
Speak, I say.
I don't know that we can beat... That's interesting. I didn't expect that.
Go, floaty crystals.
I think there's a reason to attack with that. They're just gonna chump with the 1/1. Oh, I guess that means they don't chump here with the 1/1. Alright. Well, they can eat it with one of their 3/3s then instead. But this is good, I guess, because now I get to save this with the Pale Cascade. And get another buff on my one of my units potentially next turn. Or I guess our next attacking turn. I have a lot of Omen Hawks this game. I have some big beefy units at the top of their deck. There's a Vi. A little late, because she would have been leveling up a whole bunch. Deal 1 to all enemies and the enemy nexus. Well, I can stop her, technically. I think it's worth trying. See if he has defense for her. Because he didn't save the Braum earlier, so it's either because they were saving it for the Anivia, or... Okay. This doesn't target the leftover, does it? No. That's fine. We can kill it with this Mystic Shot. Or we could actually challenge it with Vi. That's another option. I'll actually take this block.
I'm doing this my way.
This is 2, 4, 6. I can actually get her to 10 this round. I'm not sure if this is worth it, but it's going to be fun, so that's why we're going to do it.
Justice is served.
And now they're just going to play like Vengeance, and we're going to be super sad. I'm just going to skip. There's no reason for us to take the damage there. Yeah, they've earned a lot of their mana. Well, let's start with this. I'm sure they have either a Vengeance or at the very least they must have Frostbite cards. Sure. End the round again. They're gonna keep burning their mana. If they don't want to spend mana, I think I'm fine with that.
Who disturbs me?
Okay. Oh, I'm supposed to play this, I think. Just to have a chump blocker.
Come to the light.
Bring it!
There's the vengeance. Okay. We're taking 8. That's fine. Actually, probably gonna need to do this anyway, so I guess we should see if I can draw a Bastion. Yeah, there it is. So I still made a mistake by not playing this Gift Giver last round. I wouldn't be taking this 6 damage here. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Not much I can do about that, unfortunately.
These jewels are more than mere trinkets.
Darkness hides in my path.
What to do here? Guess we could start with this. Okay. That's a Bastion. That's a Harrowing. Goodbye. So that was gonna revive their 6th strongest dead allies, and we didn't have the life to sustain an attack from that. So we've been playing this deck for about an hour. All right, we'll do one more with it before moving on. That's not bad. We're going first. Maybe I want to look for a 1-drop here, especially because we have a Vi in hand. I think I keep the Diana though. Pale's Cascade's also pretty good, however. I think I'm supposed to throw that back, looking for, yeah, something like that.
They forced us to choose death or the blade. I have my orders.
He'll probably not block here because he at least gets 1 damage in. Okay. I was gonna say, when this attacks, it deals a damage to us, so figured they would just use their life total as a bit of a resource there, so they could then deal some damage back to us, but I suppose not.
Fuse is lit!
Do I want to just kill that? Yeah, I think so.
Noxus lives on.
I think we just pass next turn. I think we have the potential to do a Diana play like we did last time, and if not, we just bank 3 spell mana. It's not a big deal.
No prey, no
That
pay.
is a misfortune, however. That is unfortunate. So let's do... We're almost certainly going to attack with her at the very least, and I would like to trade this round, so let's play this
Deny our light.
and see if they attack into our Pale Cascade. They're not going to. In that case, yeah, I'm just playing around. The fact that this didn't trigger Nightfall, like, it feels bad, but it's... Okay. Interesting. I was gonna say, it feels bad, but I don't think the elusive is relevant in this matchup. Just the fact that we have a body on the board, like, that's really all I need. It's kind of a lackluster end to the set, but we won, so that's fine. Open our little gift here. Not super exciting, but shinies. Shinies are always nice. Free shinies. Free shinies for all. Alright. We'll end it there. Yeah, I think this is a little bit... This, I don't know... This is not... Certainly not a super competitive deck necessarily, but I think it's a fun, you know, different take on... it's just a fun, different deck to try if you like... if you're just looking for something different, something that has a reasonably proactive game plan, but also some... that has some interesting lines to it. Yeah, if you're looking for something to do with your Vise, because this is a pretty underplayed champion right now, I think this might be, this is a fun deck to try if you're sitting around. I wouldn't spend precious champion wild cards on Vi to craft this deck, but if you happen to have some lying around, and if Diana's a pretty reasonable champion, if she fits in a lot of different aggro shells, so just a different way to do Nightfall. Put it that way. All right, we'll end it there.